poco andiamo a vedere le foche.
Eccola una foca! Anche le foche respirano sopra l'acqua?
Eva, senti freddo? Questo è uno scheletro di balene.
No, le balene.
Di megatte, quante belle. Vieni Marica, andiamo.
Ma anche tu sei piedi la balena.
Perché il tempo che deve essere da là.
Eccole le foche! Stanno tutte dormendo sulla spiaggia al sole. Per la sbagliato. No, stanno dormendo.
Quello è il maschio. Questo è l'area, mettono tutte le femmine di quel maschio. E lui le sta controllando perché sono tutte le sue mogli. Sono tutte le mogli di quello lì. Poi ci sono i piccolini.
Hai paura?
Gli ho detto io che non si posso.
Non si fanno toccare? Ma Eva?
dog is just sitting up. We have no idea why they do it. It happens right in front of our faces every day, and still we have no idea. And the reason is, it's really hard to measure. You cannot walk up to a seal and say, hey, why are you doing that? Maybe because he wants to heat up his chest, maybe it's because he wants to stretch the muscles. We have no idea. But because we do like to find out as much as possible, we use technology. So one of the ways is, for example, using the microchips. So putting the microchips in the animals. We have a few antennas in the colony, so every time an animal passes an antenna, we know which animal it was and how he or she uses this area, which is very important to us. It gets more difficult when the animals are using the ocean, because how can you track the animals? You cannot. The animals start feeding, having past the reef, and then sort of bend outwards that way. So they can swim up to 250 kilometers in those 3 days just to get to that continental shelf. And when they get to the continental shelf, all of the individual animals have to find the food on the bottom. So every animal, because they have lungs, just like we do, they hold their breath. But if you see animals moving up and down, 99% it's a male. So they have that extra energy. All they can do is practice the fighting with their mates and practice something else with their mates. Because they can't practice it on females because they're not allowed. So males are frustrated. They fight a lot, they practice a lot, and they have to find the food at the same place as the females do. But they're only, feeding for one, so they can use that extra energy to become big and powerful. Because when you're about his size, the one that's rolling, then the most important thing is the number one rule: size matters. Because only if you're big, you're winning fights. Because these guys can weigh up to 350, 380 kilograms in the breeding season. They will have lost 150 kilograms by the end of the season. These guys try to push each other out of the way. In that fighting and trying to push each other out of the way, they bite each other as well. And there's chunks of flesh and chunks of hair in the air, and the fight can go on forever. They even chase each other, just not like this, but by running. And the fighting goes on for a very long time. Only when you're big enough to push the other one out of the way and grab him by the flipper, then you win the fight. I've seen big guys grab the other one by the flipper, lifting him up in the air, 350 kilograms, putting him down, and the other guy takes off. Because around the chest area, there's a lot of extra blubber that protects you. On the flipper, it's nothing. It's just bones, tendons, nerve endings. It's all really, really sensitive. So that's what these guys are trying to do. So the guy that was lying in the swale on the other side that we saw from the bridge had scars all over him. He's been around for a very long time. Because the more scars you have, the more fights you have been. And usually a big male like this will mate with maybe 4 females in 6 months. 6 months is the duration of the breeding season, and if he's lucky, 4 will be sort of the norm. 7 if he's been extremely successful. And what you're looking at now is a male approaching a female. What she does, and you see this a lot more in the breeding season than outside of the breeding season, she puts she flares her whiskers forward. That's a way of saying, I'm not interested, get lost. Usually males take a cue like this and sort of get lost. A lot of the times, especially